Time podcast. All right, if you want to live at this level of life and you are not afforded that, there's no one's gonna supplement you. You are down here. This is where we're putting you with the money that you have not even earned. You are trying to live up here with your iPhone 4S. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to have your laptops and your flat screen TVs. How about you go to fucking work? How about that? No one, like, we are fucking literally giving you money and you are fucking us up. We are paying for you to be in prison on top of being on welfare. You were probably on welfare before you went to prison, which I don't agree with the rate that we put people in prison and the crimes actually committed. That is a whole different subject. But the primary issue here is that taxation is distribution of wealth. That's exactly what it is. If you're worried about the highways being made and the police officers being paid, those taxes come out of food, gasoline. You pay a tax on everything you purchase. And what else is sad in this world is that we depend on gas stations and grocery stores to make to even procure another day of life. Like, if you don't eat today, you are probably not going to be alive in like 7 or 8 days if you continue to not eat. If there was no grocery store, most people would not be able to fend for themselves and feed themselves and hydrate themselves adequately to sustain life. You depend on these people that are poisoning us. They're poisoning us and stealing our money, and we are fucking have a smile on our face about it. Like, it's fun. It's pathetic.
It's fine. It's fine. Blindly lead. I vote for Romney. I vote for Obama. Oh my goodness gracious! Are you fucking kidding me?
This is worse than a kindergarten playground with a fourth grade bully that's been held back 10 fucking times. It's worse than that, and we're just taking it, man. It's like, give me your lunch money. You already had it. I mailed it to you last week. Like, it's bullshit, man. And they are taking our rights away every day. We are being arrested for protesting civil protests that are constitutional. They're constitutional. We're being used and abused, beaten, shot, fucked up, tased, maced, happened to be incarcerated, going to fucking court and found that it was unconstitutional in the beginning, and the police officers aren't even fucking charged with anything that they have done in violation of your civil rights. Like, you were civilly abused and the courts found that to be true. That's why you are not continue to be incarcerated for doing nothing in the first place. But in turn, no one is being held accountable for misusing you, and it's fucking ridiculous. And what is real ridiculous is that we just let it be. Most people let it be. I'm not going to let it be. My friend Josh here is not going to let it be. We hope whoever's watching this is not going to let it be. Know your constitutional rights, for fucking sure. Don't let the police take advantage of you in any way, shape, or form. They are just the 99% too. They are being fucking manipulated beyond belief. They are the same. They are in the same tax bracket as us. They are fed the same garbage as us. Yet they think they're on a pedestal, which they are not. They are there. They were hired to serve and protect, and not to arrest and fine. You know what I mean? It's just a whole money-making scheme, and if you don't realize this, then you're oblivious to the fact, and you'll be lucky to even be breathing right now if you don't know any of this stuff.
As Robin and I would say, we both took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And
where they at today?
Shit seriously.
Domestic. And if you don't know about false flags, you need to know. YouTube. Everything is on YouTube. You can look up any of these things. Any of these acts.
Oh, no. It disappeared. Hold on.
It's on there somewhere.
All right, we're good. Back.
It's our first time. They're going to get better and more in depth, that's for sure. Because we know a lot of stuff that you average people don't know. And it needs to be... It needs to be displayed. Like, you guys need to know this stuff.
The sad thing is that it's not in some burned book somewhere. It's not. This information. Especially with the internet, there is no reason for anybody to have any excuse to defend a president, or both of these guys on stage right now, that want to eliminate the Fifth Amendment of the United States goddamn Constitution, the document they both swore their life on to defend. But you know what? They don't defend it in the ways that we do. They defend it in the ways that are going to best suit them. And the Fifth Amendment, I mean, we go back to the Magna Carta here of 1215. Let's be serious. Are we gonna devolve 1,000 years because of terrorism and potential terrorist suspects? No damn way am I afraid of a terrorist. And you know what? If a terrorist wants to come to my door, he can gladly walk in, and he's gonna leave in a bag, and he ain't going to get dumped in no ocean. He's gonna get dragged off the porch and gutted right there because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's the premise of like humanity in a free state. Like we were sworn. This is coming from a war veteran who has been in a fucking war. You know what I'm saying? Out there, away from his country, fighting for God knows what reason at this date. No one knows. No one knows. It's just ridiculousness. I'm over there risking my fucking life day in and day out for months at a time not for my benefit. I was getting paid to risk my life for somebody else's greed, is what it is.
How'd that E3 pay work out for you? What was that?
It was all right. It was like $500 a week, $4.99. I think I got paid
$4.99 a week as the infantryman.
Every 2 weeks, I think I got paid $9.98, like 68 or something like that. I got some ELSs if you want to look them up. But this is what I'm talking about. There is no way, if you know anything about strongholds, you cannot. If you have the population here, no one can break this unless you let them. But I'll tell you what, if you take people out of your circle and put them over here, these people can easily be squashed. These people can be squashed. So why are we sending our citizens out to defend our country when our country is fucking over here where we live? Let them come and try to attack us in our place of business.
Exactly what they want us to do. The Persians have been there for
it's not going to happen.
Of years.
Yeah,
they want us to come over there and try and fight on their terms.
Yeah, you single out. Yeah, you fight on their terms. You look at the Battle of Troy. You know what I mean? Like they say, no one had breached the walls of Troy at any battle ever. You know what I mean? Like, where were they? They were fighting within the compounds of their residency. Why would you put an external element out there in what you call single numbers when you think about it due to the population? So our 80,000 out there amongst the rest of the population is in minimal numbers. You look at these SEAL teams that get sweep, like Michael Murphy's squad. That's 4 guys fighting 100 men. 100 men. Why the fuck were they ever put in that predicament? Ever. They were silent missions. So, okay, who are they going to prosper in the end? If not anybody, like, we have A Lone Survivor, and The Lone Survivor. Look it up, get his book, watch his
Marcus
movie.
Luttrell.
We have one survivor, and his story is just as good as anybody else's, in that you're not fighting for your freedom. We're fighting for commodities in another country, or control over a dictator or ambassador, or not ambassador, we haven't placed ambassadors, but people in foreign countries. We are manipulating their power. We are taking it and harnessing it, in which everybody has thought this. Like, why haven't we just taken over the world? If we want to put our nose in everybody's fucking business, why don't we just bomb everybody, give it a couple years, and fucking move in? If you're worried about radiation, then you might lose your hair or whatever, whatnot. You know what I mean? But we feed people radiation every day in hospitals. Like, it's not that dramatic. We could have easily taken over the world. Why why would we wish to have not had? We could have easily have blown the world up by now. We limit these outside countries to how many nuclear bombs they can make, and if they can even make nuclear bombs. How fucking ridiculous is that? I say you should be able to defend your household however the fuck you feel. However you feel, and you should be able to do whatever you want inside your household as well.
That is the justification I like to believe on the Second Amendment. Whether some people might deem it necessary to defend themselves with a .22, I might feel it necessary that I need a Mark 19 grenade launcher. I don't care.
That's far-fetched.
It's
inept. It's not even applicable.
Okay, but we'll just say that I needed a assault rifle to defend my house. Okay, so I need an assault rifle to defend my house. Now, why shouldn't I be entitled to that same principle of defense that the person who feels comfortable with a .22 is? Now, I mean, I've shot tons of weapons. I've seen what they can do. Why would I pick a 22 caliber and settle with that when
the efficiency and the damage it could cause.
Yeah, exactly.
And his inability to.
The only people that want to restrict you to 22 caliber rounds are people like Mitt Romney, who supposedly hunted
with secondary agendas that don't want us with real fucking firepower. Why would you restrict power to anybody? A free given. What is this? Anyway, a free given will, like we have. You have the will within you to defend yourself. Everybody does. There's a mechanism, fight or flight. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Okay, say I would like to opt to using a weapon to defend myself because I am not only comfortable with a weapon, I am proficient extensively. The problem is that our rights are being taken away, and we are eventually not even going to be able to own a weapon at all. Not only not be able to use a weapon.
What are you gonna do against a turret gunner with a 50 cal or a Mark 19?
Yeah, with your little pea shooter.
Action rifle?
With your pea shooter. Do you see the fucking vehicles? These fucking these elements, these police elements that are for protests.
Oil City, Pennsylvania, for example, we have an armored fucking vehicle downtown. This city has 8,000 people. Why do we need an armored vehicle downtown?
Yeah, what are you gonna do to a tank? A couple people with some fucking BB guns. What are you gonna do? A tank's rolling through, blowing rounds through your house. Nothing.
I mean, we ain't
doing shit.
Nobody's.
Not to say that is the agenda, but the ideal is that why would they diminish your firepower, allow you to only have minimal ammunition and caliber ammunition, and they are allowed to uphold and exceed any fucking imaginary weapons or like HAARP or you know what I mean, like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how we're being abused.
The nuclear weapon thing, it always comes back to why the United States, the only country who has ever attacked another nation with a nuclear weapon twice in complete violation of war crimes, which I don't believe there are crimes of war because it's fucking war. But why are we policemen of the world of nuclear powers? I mean, we should take a stand if we create, we don't create fans through imperialism. We create them through logic and understanding of
you think somebody would be your friend if you bullied them nonstop every day of the fucking week? Would they actually, if you ask them, they're like, okay, we'll go with an outside source because obviously you have already influenced their lives. If they were asked by an outside source, they would definitely say they fucking hate you. They hate you to death. You know what I mean? This is how we're being taken advantage of and bullied by the government. And yet we like some people, and that's I'm gonna go with hardcore Democrats for sure, and non-libertarian or not libertarian, but
neoconservative. We'll go with neoconservative.
But the problem is that they've been bullying us for a multitude of years, and we in some people a percentage in the majority. It's not like some. The majority of people think that these people are their fucking friends. And it's ridiculous. To me, that is so absurd that you can be just abused and used every day, taken advantage of, and then find that sanctity in the same thing that is abusing you. It's like it's upsetting.
And as far as the left-right paradigm is concerned, you would dare never say that there was once a Democratic Republican Party started by folks like Mr. Jefferson there. I mean, Democratic Republican. Holy shit, is that just extreme?
It's not.
So you can't even say that because that's how it started, folks.
It did. And the premise of the whole election thing is of anything. You can break it down as basic as you like. You can break it down as basic as you like. What are those goddamn things? Fucking down. But I forgot what I was talking about.
No, you hear people in the background. You hear people in the background. That does it to you every time.
No, I got refocused. That's
those people in the background. It's just amazing to me. Like, well, I haven't listened to a word of this debate, but all I just see is sheep going up and sheep going down and sheep sitting in the middle and going around, and it's just ridiculous. Why not have an opinion of your own? Why make one of these guys? Why are they smarter than you? Do you really think they're smarter than you? And if you do, you should fucking hang it up right now because maybe you should start reading some fucking books and be smarter than that.
Yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal. You don't need to shoot anybody or throw anybody out of a building or anything like that. That's unconstitutional.
Yeah, you can't force ideals on anything.
The whole basis is here is if you don't educate yourself and you allow an outside source to educate you that has an other side agenda, per se. Even they were taught by somebody who might have an influence, or they had an influential factor toward a goal or a project. They are going to convey that to you. So if you don't educate yourself, which basic things, like the math you need to know, and it's basic of fucking addition. We don't need to know in percentages. We don't need to know calculus and these absurd things, which have in time been forgotten and re-fucking founded if you look it up. But we know the education that we need. Basic ideology, like math, science, regular science that we use every day. The things you use every day. Applicable knowledge. Along with your rights, constitutional rights. You need to know if you are able or unable to be taken advantage of, and the word taken advantage of is harsh, and that's exactly what it is. It's harsh.
And how many people even realize when a cop pulls you over that
you don't even have to identify yourself?
How many people know about Terry versus Oregon, where the Terry stop laws were in place? Holy shit! I must have boggled somebody's mind.
No,
because I mean, dude, people don't even realize this stuff every day.
You gotta know.
I mean, when a cop stops you, you have a right to not.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the fact that I'm upholding a citizen of the law. The principle here is that there is no written law. There is no solid law. They will make the law up as fucking found fit, which they are labeling war veterans. That's myself. Boom, terrorist. I'm a terrorist now. Don't know why. Not quite sure even how, considering the endeavors I've been through. I don't know how that's considered, but libertarian voters, if you got a Gary Johnson sticker or Ron Paul sticker on your car, you are being fucking identified, labeled, and researched.
Or if you're a libertarian nominee for state senate, you're fucked.
Not a civil servant or a fucking upstanding citizen of your country. You're being labeled as a terrorist. And what are you doing that is so wrong? What is so wrong?
What is so wrong about speaking of civil liberties? What is so wrong about defining your governmental views as based on the governmental views of your founders? I mean, that is basic. I would think that is as much as American as anything could be. If I were 100% straight on, dead on to the document that defined what our country is today, you would assume that I would be a patriot and not a terrorist. But now we have to call us freedom fighters. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's like now we label.
I know everybody should be a freedom fighter. That shouldn't even be a term. That should be like that should be what do they call it? Socially acceptable. Like that is not a law, but everybody acknowledges it.
Like the freedom fighter. It's
freedom. Isn't that what we're fighting for? Is freedom. That's what we say when I'm on the front line. They say, "Oh, I'm over here fighting for your freedom," and it's all ridiculous. It's all fucking ridiculous. You can take it from any war veteran. You have people throwing their medals back at Congress and the White House. Everybody saying "fuck you." You have used me, abused me, and fucking turned me out. I am expendable by all means, and you have totally just fucked with my head. Literally, everybody that's ever been through something that has some kind of stress or anything I have everybody has an issue or issues, but whether they're acknowledged or not, or found even to be issuable, is all they want to do is feed you fucking medicine that they make, and it's just a big money scheme to dumb you down. And if you don't realize this, then you are definitely one of those people. We'd like to turn you people. We would like to turn you people. Stand up for yourself.
Yes, we do not discriminate.
Definitely stand up for yourself.
We are.
That's the bottom line. Right from wrong. Everybody was taught it. Who's going to apply it? Not the president.
We would love to bring the knowledge to the ignorant. And ignorant is not a negative word. It is just people who have not seen the light or not seen the enlightenment. I mean, you just got to look at it that way and just roll with it. And you need to be a part of something. Only 1/3 of the Americans or the colony's citizens at the time thought the revolution was necessary. And you know what? We're all here. Damn thanks to them. So you need to really think that just because you're part of a minority doesn't mean your minority isn't so just adamant about.
Everybody has their own views, that's for sure. It doesn't matter what race,
and it ain't
what
left
ethnicity,
or right.
What ethnicity. You know right from wrong, and that is the basic principle for life. And everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Why don't you apply it? Is the real question. Why? It's absurd to think that we do these things every day. Like we go to work, break our fucking backs, lose sleep at night, thinking about fucking getting fired and shit. When like. That is so fucking pathetic. That is so fucking pathetic. You have me fucking stressed for 4 or 5 additional hours after you just abused me for 12 hours. And, like, I might not have a fucking job. And, like, I need to go to the grocery store to buy the food that you guys make. And all this shit is all you.
What?
And how about, let's get some of me over here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to grow a garden and fucking hunt every day. Not every day. When I feel necessary. And that should be an acceptable way of life, except it's not. That's not an acceptable way of life, and it's fucking ridiculous. I have to have an iPhone 4 and a fucking laptop and a fucking energy-efficient vehicle when I fucking walk, I fucking hunt, I grow my own fucking food. Hey, fuck you. I'm not going to be one of you 99%ers. You can be a 99%er. I'm not worried about wealth. Real wealth comes from inside anyway.
He's got a great point there. That the fact that we bust our ass in this economic slavery, and that's all we do. We work for college, and then what does college give us? It gives us debt. And how do we pay off this debt? We have to work, and then we buy a house that we can't afford. Why? Because television has showed us that this is the house that we should live in. And although that we are teachers and firefighters or police officers, that we should live like a fucking Kardashian. It's fucking ridiculous. Or we need the newest, latest iPhone 5 or whatever. I don't know. I have a phone without even GPS on it because I don't feel like being tracked. But yeah, everybody divulges their lives and their hard-earned earnings. Working minimum wage at McDonald's for 80 hours to buy some piece of shit phone that's going to be outdated in 6 months anyways. It's fucking ridiculous. And it's absolutely pathetic that even people tonight we're talking about, I can't wait for the fucking new premiere of fucking Jersey Shore. Yeah. Well, there's a presidential debate going on. Holy shit. How do you need to wake the fuck up, people? I mean... it could be Apple, it could be Microsoft. I don't know. Are we going to use Windows or are we going to use Linux? I don't know. It depends on who bought Congress yesterday. It's insane. It's insane. Goldman Sachs, government Sachs. We're just contributing to the problem here by bailing out the same people who brought it on in the first place. If you're not good at your job, you should get fired. You should not get rewarded by the taxpayers and bailed out for a company because you want to meet your fucking salary, because you want a new island in the Cayman. Holy shit. Let's be serious here. How much money do you really fucking need? I'm all about people making money. If you can be rich as fuck, if you can come up with a product like Steve Jobs did, more power to you. If you come up with something like AIG and just fucking rape the taxpayers for trillions of dollars because of your bad decisions, because you think that you are so important that you hold up the economy, fuck you.
Just had an awesome thought. Yeah, but it's like freestyling. It's never gonna come out as good as it did in the bathroom right here. All right, they call it a free election. First of all, where are these unaccounted hundreds of millions of dollars coming from? Well, I know where they're coming from. They're coming from fake businesses that don't even exist. And for what? There is an ulterior agenda that we are not being able to let known. They are not going to let it leak in any way, shape, or form. WikiLeaks isn't going to get a hold of this. There's no one on the inside that is... They're on the inside getting this money because they're on the inside.
And they finally got...
They're not going to get turned until they realize that they are themselves being used and are expendable, which they all are. I don't know why they all stick together like that, because someone's got something to say. And the people that do have something to say are either incarcerated indefinitely, charged as terrorists. You're not gonna find them. You're just not gonna find them. They either disappear because they know they're gonna be killed sooner or later for their views. Like the thought police are coming to get you. Probably coming to get me too. No, I already know I'm labeled. That's not the premise. The basics are that it's not a free, nothing is free. That has been known by everybody that's ever worked for something. Nothing is free, that's for sure. But these people are being paid by and what's upsetting is they're being paid these hundreds of $1 millions by the same people. Each party, Obama is getting sponsored by the same fucking people that are sponsoring Mitt Romney, and you call it a sponsor. When you sponsor something like, it's ridiculous. The word sponsor is just upsetting. They are paying to have their view elected into government is exactly what the whole process is. That's the process. And they pay both sides for an equal equivalent, like left or right. Whoever gets voted in is like their vote is going to go my way because I fucking gave them money to. And if not, then they rely on your funding. They rely on your funding. A lot of the things they do every day or week in, week out have something to do with the money that you have procured from your hard back, or in addition to money that is being printed that's taking away value of the money that you worked for.
That's what most people don't understand. They don't realize that gas is not $1. It didn't go from $1.84 to $4 a gallon because of the supply and demand. It went because of the valuation of the dollar. And we are continuing to perpetuate this quantitative easing because we want the housing market to recover, or we want our credit scores back.
I would tend to disagree. I would tend to disagree only on the fossil fuels, because those are projected into some kind of limitation, and they need to, you know what I mean? They need to. Is what my thought alone is if you have this acknowledgement of a fossil fuel, say oil, it's limited. It's not unlimited. So if you project whatever trillion barrels or whatever, you have to put a time scale on there and an amount. But what you would be doing as a smart person is you would be procuring this investment, and with the profits that you're turning over, invest in an alternative source of power. So when the oil runs out, or before the oil runs out, you can change over.
I believe the psychology term is cognitive dissonance.
Dissonance.
Yes, with like the goldfish, for example, he eats. You fucking dump a thing of goldfish for the week. He's dead the first day because he's eating that to gluttony. And humans, we care about this weekend, and that's about it. We don't give a shit about tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what, tomorrow's going to come, and y'all going to be fucked when it does.
What would you do if they turned the lights on?
What? Yeah, I know. How many of you know how to create electricity?
What would you do if they stopped delivering food to your grocery store?
How many of you know how to grow food?
And hunt.
Or hunt. How many of you even have rifles to hunt?
And procure the meat after that.
Yeah, how many of you know how to store meat? How many of you know how to take contaminated water and drink it? Contaminated water and drink it.
This is the process here. We are being we are being disevolved by being evolved, because we are reliant on a source that isn't everlasting. It's not everlasting, and at any time they can laugh at you, throw up the middle finger, and say "fuck off." We're not giving you any more gas. We're not giving you any more electricity. And fend for yourself. And what percentage of the entity of the population of the world if we were under a world government, if they cut off the lights and the fucking food, who is gonna die? Who's gonna die? Only the people in what we'll call first world countries, which isn't an actual term, but successful countries, we'll say. All those people are more than likely going to die. Not all of them, but a high percentage. You go back to a third world country, they know ethics. They know fucking... They're not worried about probability. They know what the fuck is they need to do to live till tomorrow, and they know what to do to defend themselves to live till next week. They know exactly what to do.
And that's the greatest... one of my
They're not reliant on the government.
One of my pet peeves is